Good evening, everyone. Once again, hope we've had a wonderful day and hope you are ready for a wonderful evening of hanging out. Anyways, let's jump in and let's play some Monster Train. You finally counted? I did. I counted right after stream yesterday, and I counted again right before stream to make sure that I actually still had the right number. Anyways, somehow I hurt my knee while sitting down, so that didn't feel great, but that aside, let's pick a thing and roll with it. I think let's do maybe Echo Right Banished. It's been a while since we played Banished, so sure, let's do that. I am already on Wormkin. Okay, we definitely want Just Cause. Some days your knees just pop right out when you sit down. I mean, I have a bad knee in general. I'm sure I've talked about this on stream before, but, like, it's mostly fine these days, but sometimes I will do something to it that just, like, stresses it in the wrong way, and I really feel it. And this was one of those moments where I was trying to, like, adjust my chair as I was sitting down, and my knee did not like it. Anyways, well, we have Pyre Dominion, so I don't get Just Cause. But that's fine. Two infused ambient charges is sort of interesting. I think we want the others, though I really wish that they were infused. Particularly Revenge of the Damned is just way better while infused. I will note that the ambient charge is sort of interesting when we have Sword Maiden already, since we can draw a zero-cost equipment just right off the bat and give her some starting valor, which is pretty cool. Aegis of Pyre recently chose an egg and one infused card. Yeah, it is much harder to do things without us having infused cards at base. I don't know, I kind of want the ambient charge. I really sort of want the other things, though. But I guess we'll take ambient charge for now. I so wish that it was Benediction that was infused. I mean, Demonize is interesting, but Benediction is a really useful card. I mean, I am sort of leaning towards the Benediction still. Yeah, let's take the Benedictions. I do really like Keeper of Echoes. First of Kin, obviously, is quite good as well. Sure, we'll take Keepers, and we'll take those, and we just have way too many things. Please be Carving Korska. Nope. But I will take Dun Echo. That's actually fairly useful, since I am so utterly lacking in things. Yeah, we'll take Martial Lord, I guess, even though we're not in a good position to use it at the moment, but that's okay. Alright, well, so be it. Yeah, so much of my deck is just, like, really ridiculously costed. And, like, yeah, I have no way to get the collector, which feels bad, but it is what it is. Alright, well, here we go. Feels bad to not have the tools that I would normally desire, but hey. I take less damage by playing that than not, so here we go. Anyways, with, you know, 20-some Valor, we're not in danger, really. I can't use half the cards in my deck, but Split Anvil will save this deck. I mean, I really would enjoy Split Anvil, that's for sure. Yeah, unsurprisingly, we've already got it. The Keepers are sad. They are, in fact, very sad at the current situation. Okay. I mean, we're taking the Bounding Echoes. It's just I really wish that the Bounding Echoes was the one that was infused, but whatever, fine. Yeah. Maybe want the Rising Rage. I mean, it's good. It's just that looking ahead, I would like to be on the lower floors to deal with the minions units, but I'm still generally pretty happy with the Rising Rage, so. Okay, let's go here, I guess. Ooh. I mean, Death Dancer is really cool, except that I don't have much shifting. I think I probably am just not doing it. Yeah, I mean, it's a good card, it's just that... I mean, like, obviously I could build more into shifting. Like, I could just, like, dupe the Rising Rage and such, and, like, that would be pretty potent. But I think we'll just not worry about that. I've already got the Keepers, which fulfill a similar function. Yeah, I think we just want to multi-strike the Keepers. Inferno Room, Waiting Room, in hopes of letting you play top floor. Yeah, I was already thinking that that's ideally what we want to see. Okay, we wanted her to have the Valor, but we don't want her to be in front. Or we don't want... Anyways, the point is, we had to do things this way. Yeah, because what I want is I want the Rising Rage. Yeah, I mean, that's about as good as it gets. I do have to put up with all the Scourge cards, whatever, so be it, that's life. Sometimes you just get Scourged, and because you have less Ember, you can't even play out half the cards in your deck. Yep, no reason to draw those right now. Boy, do I love just drawing a bunch of garbage. Oh, is it Extract 3? I always think this is Extract 2, but obviously it should be Extract 3. Like, there's very good reasons for that to be the case. Well, regardless... should survive this. Not good, but like unsurprisingly, it's a very bad fight for me. Okay, well, there goes a good chunk of my health, but fine. Yeah, fine. We'll take another one. Kind of want another Rising Rage, but I didn't. Okay, let's try to make some things slightly more playable. Fine. Unfortunately, I can't afford the -2 now, which I really actually would want, but oh well. That's sort of interesting. I don't think I really want it, but I am kind of intrigued. I think overall, though, it's just better for me not to do that. I mean, it is early on, though, so, like, we could get a fair bit of attack. You know what? Like, I'll do it anyways. It's fine. Is it what I should be doing? Probably not. But is it what I have chosen to do? Yes. For some reason, yes. Okay, yeah, you have less attack than I keep thinking you do. Once again, less. Okay, we'll just do that. And I guess we'll do that as well. Okay. Well, certainly not what I was hoping to draw. Alright, I think I'm gonna get rid of the Calcified Ember. I do want to do the Benediction, but let's do this anyways. Okay, you are starting to threaten us, but that should be okay. Okay, I'm not actually hatching you now, which is maybe ill-advised, but that's fine. I did want to do the Echo Transfer, because when I do eventually hatch the buddy, it is a lot stronger. Yeah, there's not really any reason to do that. You're going to die either way. Unfortunately, it is difficult for me to hatch you, kind of. Alright, well, unfortunately, hatching the Bogflies does lose all of the Valor and damage shields that they had on, but that's okay. That's one Angry Bird. I mean, that is how Archeon works. He gets pretty spooky pretty quick. But with Benediction, we should be fine. God, my deck is so skewed. It's real awkward. Alright. Exciting stuff for exciting people. Yeah, I'll take Cursed Windblade. It vaguely causes me some problems, but not really. And we're taking Ember because it's helpful, though I do still have a bunch of other problems. This is intriguing. Also kind of want to go for the Merchant of Trinkets, just because like a lot of the Wormkin artifacts would make my life dramatically better. Fuck it. We'll do it. Ember Staff is fine. Ooh. I might take Blood of the Apex. No, we're not gonna do that. I mean, again, I could make decent use of it right now, but we're not gonna do that. Okay, we're gonna hope that Blood of the Apex works the way that it should. I actually don't know if it does. Also, taking Heaven Seal here is ill-advised, but so be it. Kind of want to play this here just for it being a charge, but I do actually want to give it to the Sword Maiden so that she can get some Valor. Yeah, you only need one charge to hatch, so I will do that actually. That event lets you choose who to sack if there are multiple champions, which need... Yeah, it is a bit unexpected, but it is cute that it works that way. I really want the Collector, but I kind of need to do this, so... Could have drawn first before moving you. I don't know that that's actually helpful, because what I'd really... Oh, no, I can't. Can't do it first. Because I'm generating a charge with the Rising Rage. Well, never mind then. Well, once again, not getting the Collector, it brings me great and terrible despair, but that's my life. Also, yes, it would have been really nice to have used the Bounding Echoes when I had my holdover card in hand, but I didn't, because I wanted to make sure I was hatching my thing as soon as I could. And here we are. I kind of want that second Keeper of Echoes, but I can't really utilize it very well, so... And yeah, it looks like Blood of the Apex is working correctly, which is pleasing. Okay, so let's do that. Let's make you stronger since you have 4 attacks, and that seems warranted. And now you're doing a much better job of powering up Blood of the Apex. Or powering up our thing with Blood of the Apex. Okay. This is good enough. I was worried that the Keeper of Echoes was going to die. Because it's only got 2 damage shields on, and it's fragile, so the moment it runs out of damage shields, it'll just die to the corruption, but we're good enough. We do enough damage that we're able to kill before that becomes an issue. I mean, it helps that our big bad beetle boy attacks 4 times. I mean, this soul segment's cute. The return soul is also sort of interesting, but without it minus costing, it's a way worse for me. Could take another ambient charge. I'm not using the ambient charge very well currently, but still. I'll just skip, I guess. Fine, I'll take it, I guess. Kind of want the Merchant of Arms. I think we're gonna go here, though, for reasons. Glug Cider. Yeah, we're not doing Glug Cider. I cannot utilize Glug Cider right now. The Bogfly Chrysalis would have been vaguely interesting, but again, can't really utilize it, so we're just not gonna bother. Okay, give me Smidgestone. Yeah. Okay, that does make my life a lot better. And I guess I'll do this for you, even though I only vaguely care about you now. But now with the Smidgestone, I can naturally put 2 keepers on top floor together, alongside good ol' Echo Right, and then you can just chill there and draw me something good. Sure. We'll still give that to you. Okay, this is a reasonably good time for us to get that. And yes, that does steal away a charge and make it a little harder to hatch, but that's worth it. Okay, well, she's just chilling out there. That's fine. Oh, I can just never get any collectors because of a stupid Buyer of Dominion. 25 crowns left, and Salamander, the Registry Moroni, will abandon Monster Train 2 for Inkbound 2, because they're also working on Inkbound 2. I mean, who knows? I'd be surprised if that's what they're doing. I mean, I would have fun with it. I think Inkbound is a game with some problems, but for the most part, I really still enjoyed it. Unfortunately, we are taking some pyre damage. Oh well. Not much I can do about that. Are you going to play the Spire 2? Yeah, I already talked about this. We'll definitely play it. I don't know exactly what my plans look like. I will almost certainly be playing early on Thursday, though I don't know exactly what time I'll get started. And then in a more long-term sense, I will probably be playing it like next week, and then we'll just go from there. What I often do with early access deck builders is I will check them out when they first release and play a good chunk, and then take a break from them and return to them when they do their 1.0 release. So, might do something like that with Slay the Spire 2. We might just do like half and half with Monster Train 2. I don't know. Really depends on how engaging I find Slay the Spire 2 and how much content is there in the early access release. It sounds like it's probably going to have a lot, but, you know, who knows? I do appreciate that this guy just lets me farm his reanimate for permanent stats on all of my equipment. I mean, the Wormkin Etchings is... You know what? I'll take it. It's fine enough. I would have taken Heroic Dive in a different world, but I will not take it now. Alright. Well, I'm not too concerned with that since we've been protecting it with damage shields, but it is still nice to get rid of the fragile. Okay, what we want to do is we want to get, like, intrinsic. Okay. So I could either do this and then do like the -2. Or I could -2 and remove consume on like the other benediction. And that's also pretty decent. I could also do this and then other things. I don't know. I think I'm just happy to do this, I guess. Okay, so now we can do that on the Rising Rage, which is pretty nice. Yeah, weirdly I'm willing to do this. I do kind of want the Permafrost as well, but we can't, so we're not going to worry about it. What we are going to do... We've got one more dupe and it's here. Yeah, it's not like my favorite, but that is what we're going to do. Anyways, I'm not well set up for Dominion, but we'll deal with that at some point. Anyways, we're gonna dupe the Rising Rage right now. It doesn't matter as much at this moment, but it's still useful to have. Okay, so Keeper 1, Keeper 2, good old Echo Right, and then you. Sure, we'll do this one right now. Yeah. Probably should have done that turn differently in a number of ways, but that's okay. So we get a Bounding Echoes back, which is cute. Yeah, I don't want to draw into those with the Ambient Charge right now. Oh, I did forget that I probably wanted you in front of the other Keeper of Echoes, so you could be getting kills more often with the Cursed Twin Blades. I mean, it's fine. It's whatever. Anyways, we're doing pretty massive damage to Strix right off the bat. Oh no, we're making Hallow stronger, whatever. I guess we'll just have to suck it up and block him with damage shields like we were already going to do. I really wish they had Carving Koriska. It would be so good for me. Bog Slime obviously would also be quite good, but like Carving Koriska, turns out, is in fact one of the best artifacts in the game. I don't have enough charges. The fear of dying here is real. Yeah. Yeah, really. Definitely a real meaningful concern for us. I'm a little annoyed that I still have divinities that I can't play regularly. The fuse 2 equipped cards of Railforge disappointed me. Permanent scaling gained after fusing doesn't carry over. Yeah, I assume that's a bug, but I don't know if that's ever going to get fixed. But yeah, it is a weird interaction. It's just a very strange card in general. 38 times 2 is pretty scary, to be honest. I mean, yes, kind of, but again, this is... like, it doesn't matter to me. It's not really in any way, shape, or form actually scary for us. Which is why I point out that, like, defensive scaling is important. And why it is... like, especially for Strix and Hallow, like... so often when I see people complain about this boss, that is what I recommend, is focus on defensive scaling. Like, you should be doing that anyways, but... especially with a boss like this, it points out why you should be doing that. Like, yes, you can get by against Kale and such with much more heavily offensive builds, but that's why different bosses do different things. Eagleheart's very good, but I don't actually want to advance, so I'm not going to take it. The Wyrmkin Etchings is good, but again, we're not going to take it. We will take Ember here. I also kind of want draw, but my deck is real fucked, and that's fine. The only problem I ever have with that boss is when guys spawn behind and I don't have pings. Yeah, to be fair, that only happens on certain variants, kind of. And so, like, you do have knowledge ahead of time that that's going to be a problem. And even then, the enemies that spawn behind are generally pretty low stats. And so even if you do have to leak them, they are not going to do that much damage to you for the most part. But yeah, I mean, it is something to keep in mind for sure. Yeah, let's go here, I guess. Okay, let's do Martial Art 3, even though it's kind of a side grade for us right now. Yeah, still learning all the ways for newer fights. Totally fair. Even I don't have them, like, fully memorized. Anyways, we're gonna greedily do this, even though it's a little more unwieldy to play right now. I was really hoping we were gonna get Inferno Chamber. I have 8 Deployment Ember. Sure, whatever. We'll do this. That's okay. Actually, probably should have done the other one, but that's fine. Well, I can't do much about him, but okay. Okay. Anyways, here's this. You get that. Probably shouldn't have bothered with that, but here we are. God, I wish I had Bog Slime. Okay, it's gonna look a little bit weird, but what we're going to do is we're going to do that so we can draw into these, because then we get to shave off more shell than we would otherwise. So, we can then hatch you this turn, and you look mighty and glorious and truly unbounded in your power. Yeah, and that's the story. Oh, whoops, I don't actually want to... I don't want to send you. I just kind of want you out of the way. Like, it's fine. It's whatever. And we still get the permanent scaling from Blood of the Apex because that does not get silenced. Alright, and then our big, bad, beautiful Bogworm just kind of murders some things. I could move him up front if I wanted to, but we are still benefiting from the Valor to some degree by having her up front. Yes, look at him go! Look at him trample over all the weak masses. The Divinities did some good work for me early, but for most of this run, they've just been liabilities. I could have a Thane kill her buddies, but we're not going to. Unfortunately, I don't have, like, any etching to benefit the Bogwormling. And that was something to keep in mind when I went to Martial Art 3. I still did it because, A, I like going to the 3rd rank on Champion Paths. But also because the Trample is actually pretty valuable for me. Especially with Blood of the Apex. Alright, it's a shame he doesn't have quick, but whatever, it is what it is. Forgotten Trade is cute, but I'm just not going to worry about it. Everlasting Light, also cute, pretty late to get though. Just not going to worry about it, it's fine. It is very good, obviously. And then we're going here, so we can execute our plan. I do want a tuned Whetstone, but it pisses me off that it's going to draw the ambient charge rather than... No, that's not true. It could still get the merged equipment. Could even get rid of one of the ambient charges to guarantee it. Alright, we'll definitely take that. I'll figure it out. Well... I was hoping to get... What am I trying to say? Pyrestone Housing, so I can get another upgrade on my Keeper before I dupe him. Because, spoilers, we're duping a Keeper. So, we're gonna get rid of the Divinities, because I have been regularly complaining that I can't play them. I'm a little sad now that I didn't remove Consume the Wormkin etchings, but that's fine. I think we're probably getting rid of one of the ambient charges so that I can get this right off the bat. It does make us a little bit weaker not having two of them, but especially because, like, we are building up permanent stats with Blood of the Apex. But I think it's probably pretty nice to get this out for free. And honestly, I think that's all I really care to do. May as well buy that, I guess. And here we go. Alright, again, don't actually have a great solution for this kind of... We are going to get Scourge cards. We're just going to have to suck it up. Okay, so you go there, you go there. Alright, we'll do that. We'll take the 1 damage. I am actually fairly low on life. It didn't occur to me that I was that low on life. Huh. That is maybe an issue. Well, let's see what we can do. Boy, do I love Scourge cards. Really would like to hatch, my dude. Okay, well, he is hatching this turn at least. As I continue just drawing garbage turn after turn after turn. Well, you're gonna die at this rate. So sad. That's probably fine. Feels so bad. This is why top floor against Dominion sucks. Well, there goes one of the keepers, which is not good, but oh well. I kind of like you not in front, but that is what we got at the moment, I guess. So I could either do this, or I can move Dominion up here. Ooh, that's real bad in a lot of ways. Yeah, it's about what I expected. But also, like, if I do this in any other way, it's pretty bad for me. Like, I'm gonna take some amount of pyre damage, and I can't really super afford that. Okay, because like this way I'm not even killing... Like, I'm not hurting those guys at all. Yeah, so like I think what I need to do is be setting up on mid floor, and I'd considered this. I just wanted to see how it went on top floor, but I think the answer is it goes very fucking poorly. No great surprise, but unfortunately true. Yeah, well. But I should be able to, like, I'm gonna get a lot less Scourge cards like this is the main thing. Yeah, again, so sad that I don't have Carving Korska, or Bog Slime, but Carving Korska in particular would just be fabulous for me. Really would love to hatch my egg. There goes her, which also means I then don't have access to the Ambient Charge anymore. It's a little sad. Let's do this in the right order. Gonna do that so we avoid getting some corruption for a turn, which is nice. I mean, the front keeper is still suffering, but better than it could be, kind of. Ugh. Not exactly when I wanted to get that. I do wish that I had better defense, I will say. Okay, out of curiosity, what does this look like? Yeah, not good enough. Yeah, and unfortunately I can't, like, reposition my worm, because if I play the Rising Rage at all, it just moves into a different floor altogether, which is a problem. There we go. Okay, I thought I could probably get there. Only one of the keepers is surviving to get the Celebrate bonus. Not a big deal. This is the one fight I was most afraid of. Although I do recognize that I'm not in amazing shape for the Titans, but we should be able to make that work. It'll just be somewhat awkward. Okay. What exciting times. I do wish that I had remove consume on the Wurmkin etchings. Like, I could have done that earlier, should have done that, would have made a lot more difference for powering up the Bogworm. As is, I'm doing, like, I'm not powering it up at all, which is a waste. I am still making good use of the Keepers, mind you, but, Yeah, I don't know why I've been giving it to her, but the things we learn. It's just like, he makes better use of it, given that he has multi-strike. Alright, well, I started taking damage. I don't have any way to speed up Dominion other than the Pyrolite, so that's a meaningful concern. I do shave off half of Savagery's health all in one go. Isn't bad. But, yeah, I mean, like, we've got a way to cut down some of the damage. I just have to draw it at the right times. That is not the right times. Well, we'll see what we can do. Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm not on top floor. Well, I sort of know I'm not on top floor, but mid floor might be better for us, or top floor might be better for us. Okay. Alright, well, we block his damage for one turn. But Okay, I am still alive for the moment, but I think I just lose. Because I'm at exactly 3 HP. And, like, Dominion will die, except for the fact that it gets the attack in first. Alright, let's see if we can do this different. The problem is, like, I need to be delaying more turns of savagery. Which there are sort of ways I can do that. They're just not what I wanted. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. And yes, I did sort of do that in the wrong order, so be it, whatever, here we are. Okay. Not the most helpful draw there. Oh, well, no, need to play that. Yeah, the problem is I need to play out all the rest of that as well, which means then I don't get the benediction, which means that then you're dying, which isn't great. I mean, maybe fine, it's just I don't want to lose the ambient charge. I still haven't hatched you yet. Well, that's a concern, I suppose. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Don't mind me as I fiddle with this, as I am somewhat punished for my hubris. Also, like, I could have hatched this earlier in a number of ways. Because I didn't have to consume some of the charges that I consumed. But, regardless, let's do that. Just don't play the one shard that turn, play the benediction. I'm concerned about my health. So I'm trying to take as little damage as I can. But, fair point. Certainly, but if you're losing by 3, the shard hits for less than 3. Yeah, but I'm also altering the math in other ways, and so wasn't sure how it was going to affect that in the grand scheme of things. But it's a valid point. Something to be concerned with for sure. Yeah, except now I'm not doing any good job of blocking the savagery damage. There's still possibilities to fix that. It's just I really don't want to draw the Rising Rages on the same turn. There we go. No, fuck. There we are. Problem is, like, now I need to draw the 2 Rising Rages together, which is not happening. It's possible, just very unlikely. There's one of them. But yeah, we're not in an acceptable spot because, again, we're at a point where Dominion's gonna kill me before I kill him. Yeah, because we need one more full round past that. Yeah. It's just, I need to be blocking more of the savagery damage. Like, unsurprisingly, we know that to be the case. Yeah, not exactly how I meant to do that, but whatever, I don't know, we're experimenting here. The problem is, again, that I'm just losing by a very tiny amount of HP because I went into this fight with 42 HP instead of like 46 HP. And, yeah. It was like right on the threshold where it is winnable, but it is difficult, and it feels bad that that's the case, and here we are. Oh, I suppose I could be doing a little bit of damage to Dominion with Trader's Quill, I guess. It's not really reliable. Unfortunately, I didn't really want to get the other Rising Rage right now. Honestly, we're gonna play the not holdover one. Well, here we are, just doing what we can to try to take less damage. Yeah, because you're almost dead. But we just need to not be taking more damage in the meantime. No, no. Yeah, again, unfortunately, I go down to 3 there. Because I didn't have enough charges to activate that. I didn't think about that last turn when I could have done that. So again, we end up in a situation where we're this close away. Similarly, if I had consume cards, I could just do the 60 damage and kill. But I can't. Anyways, it's very winnable. I feel bad that we're finagling it this much, but we are going to keep going because we're right here, and it is within our grasp, and you know, we're gonna make that work. And I made a couple mistakes that I easily could have just not done. Has to be the consume card on Dominion's floor. I had considered it. The issue is that we want those to power up our own dudes, because there are a couple turns where we are very close to not killing the enemies, and that's concerning. But yes, I had considered that as an option. He needs the edge to remove the shell. Yeah, basically. I mean, beyond that, like, there are ways I could... I don't necessarily need them to hatch the dude. Like, I could be casting them here now, but I end up being a lot weaker, and I'm worried that when we get to, like, the sweep enemies, that I won't have enough damage to chew through them all. Well, have to play that out instead of the Benediction. Yeah, this is not going so well. Because now I have the Rising Rages, which isn't helpful. kind of. Like, I can do... do something like that. And now I've at least got some blockers for this coming turn. Oops. I do actually want to make sure I'm playing down the right floor. Because with it being infused, that does actually matter quite a bit. So again, being a multiple of 3, I think we're already low enough that we die to Dominion all on his own. Because, like, yeah, we're going to do about 300 damage on this coming turn, but... yeah, once again, we do a good chunk. But then they're down to 220, as has been the case, where I just need to be not quite dying. Yeah, okay. Well, there's a couple different ways we can maybe do this. But it's right on the edge of acceptable, which is a problem. Okay, so although at this rate we're not going to hatch or do this turn. Also, you're just dying, which is a bit of a concern. Oh, and I didn't infuse this. Yeah, I do think we probably want to be playing out the Wormkin etchings on turn 1 for a number of reasons. Yeah, this just looks way worse. Way worse, I say. Okay. Well, back to the drawing board. Okay. I think we do probably want to move her up as well. Okay. So that does mean we don't hatch you this turn. Which is a bit of a concern. I mean, we hatch you now, but not before attacking. And we do miss out on some stats, and consequently we're doing just less damage to him overall, which is a concern. Yeah, but at this rate, we're not quite killing them all. Like, unless I move him again, which I don't know that that's really helpful. Because, yeah, like, this is part of the issue, is that by not doing that damage earlier on that turn to play out the etches up here, we now suffer pretty badly on this turn. Oh, I don't have enough charges now. Well, let's see what we can do. But again, going down to 15 HP already, I think, like, seals the deal, because then I just need too many turns to kill Dominion. So even if I, like, block everything here onward, I mean, maybe it's fine since I did do the extra damage to you before, but I'm not totally convinced. And that's right, I did actually want to do this differently. So what I want to do is move you fine folks up there. So that they're ready and willing to block for next turn. Alright. And yes, I'm aware that I should just let this run die, but here we are. We're in too deep to let it go now. Only because it feels so achievable. Sunk cost fallacy in action. I was thinking it. But here we are. Okay, Akare barely survives. And there we go. Just barely get the kill. Really dumb. Should have let it just die, but here we are. 6 damage was all that was needed for a few times. Yeah, and again, I'd considered that. My problem was just that turn where, by not hatching the egg early, we caused ourselves great grief in other ways. Anyways, there we go. Wasn't great. I should have healed going into the final ring. I just didn't realize I was low on health. But also, I was just not well prepared for Dominion. So, neither of the last 2 fights was great for us. Or more specifically, the only problem with the Titan fight was that I was at low health. Like, we didn't have a difficulty keeping our units alive or doing enough damage. It was just... that fight sort of has a health restriction on it, and we were below that restriction by a very small amount. Which, again, I don't find a very engaging part of that fight. I really dislike that the Titan fight is very... in many situations, feels like you've either already won or already lost it before the fight has even begun. And I don't think that's particularly fun or engaging or cool. Okay, what are we playing next? Maybe Penumbra Railforged. Single unit of the Pyroon would make a huge difference. Yeah, it would. I don't know how that would play out, really. I've considered that before, and I think that could be interesting. But yeah, don't know how that would actually work in practice. And I worry that that would cause other problems, but as is, like, it's a bad fight. Anyways, I guess we do Penumbra Railforged. I'm not, like, wild about this, but we all know that I'm never particularly excited for Penumbra. Again, very cool visual design. Just absolutely boring and awful to use. But I definitely remember still the first time that I saw Penumbra back in Monster Train 1. Because, like, you know, compared to the champions that have come before him, like Prince and Sentient and Tethys, Penumbra is easily the coolest looking of them. And also, I do like the morsel mechanic of Umbra. I'm less excited about it these days just because it has problems. Like, it's still useful. It's just not my favorite way to play. But I think it's an interesting mechanic. And I think Penumbra, again, visually looks very cool. It's just a shame that Penumbra is bad and boring. Okay, what are we doing? Are we taking the Smith or are we taking the Salvage? We all know that it's going to be Pyre of Dominion either way. I mean, I definitely lean towards Salvage, but yeah, I don't know. Let's take the Salvage. Okay, it's not Pyre of Dominion for once. When I started Monster Train, Penumbra and Umbra became my favorite clan and champ immediately. I thought they were so OP. Then I started doing Covenant 25 Divinity stuff, and that changed everything. To be fair, I do think Umbra isn't as bad into Divinity as people make it out to be. Like, there are a lot of ways to handle Divinity, including that you just don't have to set up on top floor. But yes, Umbra is still kind of the weakest clan in Monster Train 1. It's just, I don't think it's by nearly as much of a wide margin as people make it out to be. And they still have a lot that they can contribute. But yes, I don't like Penumbra as a champion. I do still like Umbra as a clan, even if I don't play with morsels all that often. Conductor Steward is sort of interesting here. Ooh. Yeah, we'll have some blueprints. Okay, so Architect is maybe what we should take. Monstrous is what we're going to take, even though it's going to be infuriating that we are required to take a capacity upgrade to use it, basically. That's at least not totally true now that Umbra has rooms. Namely, Crucible Extension can work for it. I miss Low Covenant runs where Monster Penumbra just soloed and felt like a god. I mean, you can still play Low Covenant runs. But yes. And that is part of the problem of balancing Penumbra, is that you essentially have to be balancing Penumbra for like 4 different environments in Monster Train 1. I think we just want to do this rather than feed morsels. I could also just wait. You know what? I actually think I'm going to wait. But anyways, you have to... Like, there's essentially 4 different environments in Monster Train 1. Because there's Low Covenant, low shards, Low Covenant, high shards, High Covenant, low shards, High Covenant, high shards. And like, Penumbra's very good in some of those and not great in others, but if you buff Penumbra for the high end, then Penumbra just is mind-numbingly too powerful on the low end. So, like, I get having some reluctance there. Okay, I guess we do this now so that this goes a little better. Still not great, though. Because with the spikes, you still end up dying in 2 hits, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. Gotta say, was hoping we were going to get the Whelbling back. Well, ends up not mattering, but here we are. Go forth, my mighty morsel. Block some damage for him. And thus, there we go. Overall, we still made it through with no damage, so wasn't bad, per se. Yeah, we probably want Perils. I still really wish that Space Prism had deployable on it. Specifically, what I think they should do with Space Prism is I think they should give it deployable, but have it cost 1 more in deployment phase, so it's not just 0 cost there. Or conversely, have it cost 1 less outside of deployment phase, so you can still upgrade it with -1 if you want to. Because, like, it's okay usable as is, but it lost its major focus with the existence of deployment phase. Could take Perils and hope for the X cost capacity card. Again, doesn't really solve my main problem that I need capacity during deployment phase. I'm considering Perils for several other reasons, mind you. Namely, that it'd be very good if we get Prismal Dust after this. It helps me use Void Binding or Furnace Tap if we see it. And also, I'm kind of hoping to combo it with Railforge Spike, whatever that one's called. It's probably just called Railforge Spike. But anyways, to generate just like a boatload of Forge Points and then make a super equipment. Since we have Hef's blueprints and we have a unit with Trample already. And so being able to just jam in a super equipment will be a usable game plan. Anyways, we'll take it. It's fine. I mean, Boilerplate is useful for us. Because right now I don't have an outlet for Forge Points. Alright, give me something good to eat. Fine. Not my favorite, but I will happily take something that generates forge points for me right now. Nope. I'm not going to buy that. I'm just going to reroll. Yep. Okay, that's fine. It's not perfect as is. Like, Perils on its own isn't that impressive, but... yeah, I guess we do the Conductor Steward. There's not really any reason not to, since I can't fit him elsewhere where we care about. Well, let's soften him up a little bit and hold on to the boilerplate because there's no way I'm using the boilerplate right here and now. Yeah, I guess let's play the Weldling now, even though it brings me some amount of despair. Like, it will work well with the Perils, kind of. Well, this is a hand. Which is to say, I can start giving Rage to the Weldling, and then it will convert that into attack damage. If I can ever actually draw things. Oh, am I not going to draw back into the boilerplate because I've been getting Scourge cards all the livelong day? Yeah, well, that's disappointing and a problem. Yeah, had I realized that, I would have done this differently. Yeah, didn't pay attention to that problem. Okay, a number of changes. Whoops. First off, we need to play the Conductor Steward first. Oh, I didn't actually mean to not play out one of those guys, but whatever, fine. But by having Penumbra on mid-floor, he's able to kill... He's able to kill some of the Scourge dudes earlier, so I don't have to put up with their garbage nearly as much. Unfortunately, with the minus draw, I'm still barely getting through my deck. Yeah, I mean, I basically have to do this now, which isn't exciting per se. I'd really like to get rid of the Calcified Ember, but I think we're doing this because if I do draw into the Perils, that is useful. Well, didn't draw into the Perils. Penumbra should have Hep's Handy Path as a passive. I mean, it would be fitting. Anyways, here we go. Not the best use of things, but no surprise when my deck is not at all refined and I took a trial that I'm ill-suited for. Honestly, didn't even pay attention to what it was before I took it. Engine upgrade is pretty decent. Not helpful here, though. Metallurgy, I do like. I think we're taking the bonk, though, for reasons. I kind of want to go to the left, but for a number of reasons. But getting another equipment would be really nice, or getting Steel Pulley Claw would be pretty helpful. So let's go here. Alright. Yeah, we're taking Spike of the League. Although it doesn't work great with the Void Armament, and I was just considering taking that. Might take the Exile's Diadem, though. The problem is it doesn't solve my problems totally. But it kind of solves a problem right now. I don't know. I kind of want to take it. Hey, good luck with runs. Thank you, Keon. And thanks for following the other day, by the way. I don't know. I do want the Void Armament, though it does not work now that we are looking at Reanimate. Obviously, I could just not use the Reanimate. I kind of want the Exile's Diadem, but it doesn't solve my problems long term. Let's re-roll, I guess. Bloodthirsty Blade is sort of a thing. I just like don't have good enough forge generation or anything. Okay, we're gonna take a fully different approach of fucking get rid of some things and see what that does for me. Okay. Unfortunately, you don't have high enough stats. Well, you kind of do. Okay. I'm happy to get the Weldling at least. Do I think I can roll into the Boilerplate again between now and then? Knowing that I have a holdover card. It's sort of unlikely, but we'll try. Okay. At least we have the Weldling, and we have the Peril, so we are able to increase its attack a little bit. I should maybe save that, but I wanted to get more Forge points, and that's what that looks like at the moment. Could just bonk something off of you. Probably should have done that differently, but here we are. We'll at least have him do a little bit of work for us. Right. Okay, would really love to draw the Boilerplate. Gotta say, Also, I just have nowhere to use these morsels, and that's frustrating. That is not the boilerplate, unfortunately. Hello, Edwin. How you doing? There's a very greedy play I could make. And I definitely want to make that plan. Alright, let's adopt the greedy play and see if it pans out. Okay, well, sort of. There we go. Go forth, my mighty boilerplate. And crush him to death. Oof. I do like Foundry Line. I'm not wild about the Anvil Breaker. Hey, it worked out. We got what we needed. I do like Foundry Line. I don't know that we want it here. I kind of do. I don't know how helpful it actually is for me is the problem. It's one way to cut the deck for boilerplate greed. Yes, but at some point we're just going to stop doing that, kind of. I don't know. I do want to take it. I just don't know that it's actually correct for me. Also, I already forgot that I have to take capacity at some point. Unless I get, like, Crucible extension. Which I'm not wild about. Or I could just not take more ranks of Monstrous. But I'm going to take rank 3 of Monstrous. That's just how it is. When has that ever stopped you? I mean, you are more than correct, my friend. Fine, I don't know. Overgorger? We are so not set up for Overgorger. Salvage Machine, on the other hand, kind of. Crucible Steward, likewise, is sort of nice. I'm sad that I can't really use Overgorge right here. I mean, I sort of can. I do have morsels, I guess. Like, I could just be doing that. I don't know why I've already decided that that's not workable. Maybe I do it. We'd be hard pivoting away from what I'm working on, but... you know, that's not the worst thing. I don't know. I feel like I should take Overgorger here, even though I don't think I can actually utilize it very well. I don't know, fuck it. I do think the others are better for us. Also, I would like to be taking draw, but we're going to take capacity here. So I do want Permafrost on the Foundry line. I also want Permafrost on the Spike of the League. I think I'm going to do that one instead. Could do Holdover Making of a Morsel. Am I wild about it? No. Does it give me morsels to feed toward dude? Yes. So does that, though I am, like, wildly in bad shape for deployment, Ember. Ugh, fine. We took an Overgorger, we're at least going to let him overly gorge, I guess. Give me Spell Chain. Yes, beautiful. That's at least useful for us. I don't know, fucking fine. Okay. Well, we possess no small level of problems. But here we go. Right. Could do Conductor Steward with Penumbra. Wouldn't be able to play out morsels there anymore, which is maybe okay. Power level 7, fun factor 11, synergy -2. Yeah, more or less. Okay, let's just eat you. Yeah, maybe we should have done that in a little bit of reverse, but that's okay. Here we are. Well, goodbye, Collector. Oh, I'm just not killing here at all. That's disappointing. Not the end of the world, but it is disappointing. Yeah, well... at least, I was gonna say, shouldn't be a problem going forward. Not at all true. 100% is a problem. Okay. Don't love it, but this feels necessary. Alright, goodbye, some amount of my Pyre health. Not too much of my Pyre health. And again, the point is that we are buffing up the Overgorger, so, like, it's sort of okay. Yeah, I didn't really want to play that on you. Guess we'll just do that now. Okay, we probably want to get rid of the Calcified Emperor. Just all things considered, that seems correct. I have 1 Forge Point. That's something. It is slightly more than 1 forge point now, but, you know, not terribly impressive. Either way, it is going here. Because by not killing him on this floor, I maybe get one more round of eating. I actually don't know if that's true. God, my poor guy is just slowly running out of attack. Ajax be like that. Okay, well. Ta-da! Yeah, I didn't think he got to eat them before the battle ended, but still worth trying, I thought. I mean, Gem Trove is good-ish. Prism Retrieval is quite useful with the Weldling specifically. Obviously, I don't have to be using the Weldlings at this point. Again, I do sort of like Gem Trove. I don't know, fine. We'll take Gem Trove, I guess. I mean, all of those are sort of nice. I will skip, I guess. I don't know. I've made not the most helpful deck. Yeah, we'll take Fossilized Fangs. Guess we'll do that. That seems warranted. Yeah, fine. Like, it would be kind of nice to keep the Gem Trove around, but I don't need it as badly now. I didn't get a chance to read the Fangs. Oh, Fossilized Fangs is Gorge triggers an additional time, and you may notice that we have a Gorge trigger that we're using. So, that's what it does. Yeah, we're just gonna dupe the Perils so we can drop more reliably. Heaven Seal is a bit of a problem, but we should be okay. It'd be really nice if I had more Deployment Ember, but we do not. I feel like I probably need to have you here right now. Okay, and we'll give you that one and let that one die. So anyways, our Overgorger now gets +4 attack per morsel consumed. Like, permanent attack. So, that seems useful. Oh, I did this in not the right order. Bear with me. We were supposed to do this first, so that he just wipes them all out. Okay. Once again, can't get the Collector. I do sort of come out ahead there. But I could also just avoid the sap. It doubles attack from the last fight in one round. To be fair, that's probably because it's also getting the actual stats from the morsels. So it's not as strong permanently as it looks. But yes, it is going to be growing pretty quickly from here on out. I didn't realize I wasn't killing these guys. Admittedly, this is partly because of... There we go. It's because of Heaven's Seal is all that is happening here. Or Weldling. I'm not using you terribly well, but that's fine. We have other priorities at the moment. And the Overgorger is going to be rather strong pretty quickly. I'm really not using the Foundry line very well. But alas, here we are. Okay, so we use you to block so we don't have to take the corruption. Yeah, fine. Not wild about it. I haven't been using Boilerplate very well, but I don't really need it super going forward. I'm a little sad that we're not using Hefts and Blueprints well at all. Like, it was a cool pickup at the start, particularly with us having Trample from Monstrous Penumbra, but in actual practice, not doing a whole lot for us. Okay, so you still got 7 to reanimate. But we are going to wait here so we can let our dude gorge a little bit more. Okay. He gets to eat, and then he gets to triumph. Yes, look at those permanent stats. Look at them. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a Furnace Tap. I mean, I want a variety of things here. Probably just taking Herzl's Hammer. Do I actually want Herzl's Hammer? It is good. Nah, fuck it. Who needs it? Cue me in 20 minutes needing it, but you know. Anyways, he went from like 36 attack to 122 over the course of that fight, so that's something. We're definitely going Merchant of Steel here. Yep. And then Multi-Strike and Quick are both good. Fine. Okay. I assume dualism does not work. If you mean on the Gorge trigger, no, it does not. Dualism only doubles buffs and debuffs, and armor, which is sort of counted as a buff. It doesn't double, like, actual stats. Same with double stack and triple stack and all that. Like, we could put it on We could put dualism on if we wanted to use an equipment that was going to give a buff or debuff. Like, with Everlasting Light, it will double the amount of Valor gained on strike. Or if we were using Herzl's Hammer, it would double the amount of armor generated. But for most situations, not what we needed. Oh, you are 3 capacity. Yeah, I knew this was gonna be a problem. I mean, at this rate, I am going to have some issues. I think dualism works on health effects, but not attack. It definitely does not. Like, if you're talking about things that gain HP, like, yeah, it does not work. Unfortunately, Kale's going to give you a bunch of damage shields. I'm not wild about here because I'm trying to get rid of your damage shields. Unfortunately, Penumbra is too weak to do this so far. Well, time to take some fire damage. We knew this day was coming. Oh, you have a spell shield, of course. God, you're actually a problem. Why is that not in... Oh, because I can't math. I see what's happening here. Because before I saw it work on plus HP, but you're the expert, not me. No, it definitely does not work on HP increases. Yeah, I probably need the Overgorger on mid-floor, not top. But also, like, this is the worst matchup for us, kind of. Yeah, the problem is you're going to get damage shields from Kale regardless, because Kale's a son of a bitch. Why is that previewing 31 attack and not actually giving us 31 attack? Is the blueprints not working correctly? Is that what's happening here? It certainly looks like that's maybe what's happening here. Either way, not the end of the world, kind of. Not good, but maybe not the end of the world. Yeah, you're dead, which is not good. I definitely did that wrong. Oh well, not gonna fix it. Now we're just bleeding out against Kale. Yeah, being on top floor, not going so well for us. Fully Sport Monsters would have clapped Kale already, sad day. Yeah, I mean, absolutely true. Yeah, I need to restart this battle. I can't be on top floor. Turns out, it's just a little too bad. Okay, so, let's not live in that world. Are we going to have the Overgorger on bottom floor? That's a solid maybe. I think that's a yes. Are we going to have a Morsel Maker here? I guess also yes. Well, I want to do that slightly differently. I didn't do it. It's fine. Who cares? You almost die, and then you don't die, but the point is we're trying to get the Overgorger to the point where it can just one-shot you, and then we can try to do some relevant things in the back line. Unfortunately, you keep getting more damage shields than I can handle, and also I really don't want the Chosen guy to be getting damage shields. Penumbra will at least handle that to some degree. Could have gotten rid of the Shade Splitter, but I didn't totally want to get that. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't quite kill him before he gets eaten, which means that then we have problems. You do gain Rage if you get the kill, which I would kind of prefer not to be the case. Yeah, something about that is not giving as much attack as it's supposed to. I think it's just Hef's Blueprints isn't working with it. Don't know why, that's fine. Alright, we take 1 hit from you. Could have been worse. You should die, except that you're not surviving. I haven't had an Overgorger run to Monster Train 2 yet. I have, but it hasn't been super common. Okay, there we go. Poor Foundry line. I'm not using it very well at all. Anyways, unfortunately he survives, which means that then Kale gives him damage shields like a jerk. Well, a damage shield. Either way, we are bleeding out fairly badly, but we're not dead. Poor Penumbra, just kind of chilling. It's my last unmastered Umbra card. I don't know what my one was. I'm pretty sure it was Shadow Siege, but I don't know for sure. I mean, I definitely had the opportunity to use Shadow Siege before then. I just didn't want to. Probably because, you know, for the most part, I tried to only use cards when they actually fit a deck rather than just taking them for the sake of mastering them. I did break that to the end a little bit just because, you know, especially the rare units are very rare. Alright, well, here we go. Not a great fight for us, but that's okay. We would have definitely had a much easier time with a different variant. And I feel a little bad still that we abandoned Penumbra, but we're overgorging, so here we are. Yeah, we'll take Umbra Stone. I do want the Ember for deployment, kind of. I also really want draw is what I want. But yeah, we'll just take Ember, I guess. I really do want the draw, but too bad. I guess we're going here. Okay, well, let's thin the deck some since I didn't take any draw. Alright, Monsters 3, all the good that that does us. Again, feels a little bad that we're not using him, but we basically have a better Monstrous now. So why would we bother? What I really want is to set up the Furnace Tap. That would be nice. Fat Titanited Forward Steward for the sake of it. If I had unlimited gold, yeah. But I don't. Checking my unmastered cards. For some reason, I'm missing Cuddle Hex of all things. How? That is a rather weird one. Like, it's not a card I particularly like. I saw someone recently singing his praises as though it was one of the best cards in Stygian, and admittedly, I found that baffling, to say the least. I got the impression there's someone who hates Stygian and thinks it's an awful clan. But that's... yeah, whatever. But anyways, yeah. It is a weird one. Okay, don't have enough for Conductor Steward, whatever. Unfortunately, I am silenced here. I can do that. I know I've had some runs with Cuddle Hex, but I guess they were either dimensional challenges or I lost them. Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be something like that. Okay. I still need to unlock most of the secondary champs for the Monster Train 1 clans. Might be time to edit the file. I mean, you know, if that's what you want to do, you know, do it. Makes sense. Oops. I've been playing Monster Train 2 a lot the past week. Went from 78 to 94 crowns. That is a lot. Well, we got rid of his reanimate. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll do this. Yeah, I guess we'll just give the reanimate to you. I wanted to get the perils. That doesn't really matter. And we mostly just want you here to smash through some enemies while we get set up. We are set up now. Now that we have the trample and we already have quick, so there's that. When I see the other perils, we probably are just not gonna play it. If you reanimate a morsel, does it revive after being eaten? No. Dying is distinct from being eaten. If you give it Endless, though, that does work, but that's because that's a property of Endless, not because it counts as being not. It's a property of Endless itself, not because it, for some reason, counts as being killed. Yeah. We're likely gonna roll around to that again, so we'll leave it. Bummer, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, it would also just be flat out too strong, so I get why they don't want to allow that. Like, Reanimate is already very powerful. It doesn't need to be even more powerful. Like, similarly, it doesn't count for, like, a summon trigger when a unit dies and stays on the field. Because, again, that would just be, like, too strong. Like, you could make an argument for it working that way, but gameplay-wise, it is just not good for the game. Now, I'm curious if you use Glutton's Maw on an inedible unit with Reanimate, does it just drop to 1 HP? Since Chambi counts as a kill, this unit that's normally inedible, complete with Slate Tree. Yeah. It survives at 1 HP. It's just like using Devour or Grail with Reanimate on an assistant. Works exactly the same way. Alright. Well, can't bonk anything. I have not really used the bonk terribly well this entire time. But that's okay. And yes, I know I could have given him the boiler plate. I didn't for reasons. Bonk a morsel. I thought about it, but I didn't want to deprive my Overgorger. He's a hungry boy. Well, there's the Crucible extension that doesn't fucking matter to us anymore. Yes, look at him grow. Yeah, we're just not going to worry about those. Okay, we're going to go here. Not wildly helpful. That's not happening. I was hoping for Mask of Penumbra. Okay, so we're gonna dupe the Overgorger. Just, that is what's happening. then we're just going to thin the deck out a little bit. I don't really need to protect the Morsel Maker. Kind of. I could, like, protect the Forge Steward. Not really concerned with that. Yeah. I mean, like, none of this really matters. Sure, we'll just do this. Give the good old 6 damage shields and 50 armor. And we'll go from there. Okay, well, the sap's not going to matter all that much. Unfortunately, our Overgorgers are now diverging, but that's not a huge deal. We already have defense for you, so we know for sure that you're going to survive this first turn. Yeah, you can go there. I guess we'll just put you there as well. So, there's that. Glad we have the Umbra Stone already. Unfortunately, I don't have, like, intrinsic for it, so I can't guarantee we'll draw it when we want to draw it, but not a huge deal. Well, my poor Conductor Steward goes unused. I thought about playing it up here, but alas. Oh boy, look at Penumbra. Really a helpful, meaningful champion. Not at all disappointing to use. Sure, we'll give you another one of those. I probably should have given the reanimate to Penumbra, but we did not. Fortunately, poor Penumbra is basically irrelevant. Oh, I forgot that I wanted to dupe the Furnace tab. Well, it doesn't matter too much, but more specifically, what I really wanted to do was remove Consume on it, or in some other way better utilize it, but here we are. Oh, I don't actually need both of the... I don't really need both perils. Sure, I'll let that cycle. Yeah. Oh, whoops. I don't want to be playing the second perils. Like, it's fine on the whole, but I would really rather be drawing into other things right now. Ah, I see. The sap does cause me problems here. Yeah, because as is, I'm currently killing all of them. Yeah. Well, now I did end up playing the barrels. The point is, I just really need the Furnace Tap. That's what I need. Okay. There's the Furnace Tap, finally. Sure, whatever, we'll keep doing that. Eventually we'll get around to the Spike of the League again, and then we'll just give him, yeah, a ton. So much reanimate. Sure, we'll do that, even though it deprives me of some sweet, delicious reanimate. But we should be fine. Especially since we've got the other Overgorger in back, still pumping out good damage regardless the whole time. Well, let's do that. It's going to be a little annoyed if we rolled into the bonk off of that, because I could use the bonk to kill him and get more force points. Although I guess I can't because he does have Titan skin, but whatever. Regardless, here we are. I always have to check after playing the Curse of Entropy that I haven't somehow made it so I'm not killing these guys, because with how much I am buffing them, it is very relevant that I need to make sure they're never hitting the pyre. Anyways, here we go. Ta-da! Look at them go. My beautiful creations. Which again, unfortunately made Penumbra just irrelevant. There was a deck here that could have been reasonably strong with Penumbra. It's not the deck we built, though. And that's fine. But again, it just goes to show that Penumbra is a dumb, boring, lame champion. Yeah, one of you is not like the other. Feel a little bad that I'm not utilizing the Conductor Steward and all that, but hey. Yeah, pretty sure we just want to be playing out the other Overgorger. I do like that Penumbra is basically the same size as Savagery. I think that is a nice touch. Even if it doesn't actually mean anything. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to play you first. Then that, so you can block the Corruption and the hit from Entropy for a turn, and we get to hold on to our damage shield. Same with you, I guess we'll block the Corruption for a little bit. And I think we need to do this here. Kind of wanted to do it on Penumbra, but it's just so much more important that the Overgorger doesn't die. Also, how kind of you to give us the Furnace Step already. Now I'm trying to imagine mode where Savagery is the champion. I mean, that could be cool. One of the clans that I have, you know, imagined they could add at some point would be a sort of Corrupted Titans clan. I don't know how they would justify that in the lore, but it would be cool to get some units that have like the design elements of Savagery, Entropy, and Dominion. I know some people have sort of speculated that like a Malika-led clan could be something like that. I guess I'll play this. Although I think that like if Malika were to lead a clan, which I don't think is super likely, but if she did, I think it would be more something like... So, Malika herself when you look at her, she has design elements from all of the clans. Like in Monster Train 1, she has pieces of the Monster Train 1 clans, as well as some design elements of the Angels. And in Monster Train 2, she has the Monster Train 2 clans, and so if she were to lead a clan, I would expect that her units would follow that same sort of design sense, being visually and mechanically a mashup of the other clans. I guess a clan themed around the enemy units' Titan corruption traits could be interesting. Yeah, again, I don't know how they would, like, actually pull it off mechanically, but great, so helpful. And yes, technically I should have played that before playing the unit. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not like we're really relying on our Forge Steward for damage output here. Well, there are those events that let you get the Titan blessings. Yeah. Yeah. I suppose that is sort of a pointer on a direction they could go. But yeah, on the whole, like, I think there are some ways you could do some cool things with it. Also, have we still not drawn the trample? Yeah. I was like, why am I not killing these things? Turns out it's because I don't have trample yet. Anyways, there we go. Everything's solved. We're basically just waiting on Dominion to die. Dude, draft cards from all clans and Sal will vehemently despise it. I mean, dear God, if that were the gimmick, yes, you know that I would hate it. Like, as evidenced by how much I hated playing the final character in Cobalt Core, who is exactly that. I mean, I think it's especially bad in Cobalt Core, but, like, I don't find that sort of gimmick fun at all. Because the reason that, like, a clan works is because they have internal synergy. And there are, like, you know, expectations on what you can reasonably see in the card pool, since, you know, there's a limited number of cards, and they're, you know, broken up into the commons, which you can only get from the first couple battles, and then the uncommons and the... Anyways, so, like, having a clan where you suddenly can just draft all of these cards would be really fucking dumb. It works well as a modifier for fun runs, but I don't think it works as a clan if it's just the entire pool. I don't even find it fun as a modifier. I know some people like that chaos, but yeah, it would be so awful. Anyways, I do think there are cool things that could be done with the Malika clan. And at this point, I have enough faith in the devs that if they set their mind to it, I'm sure they could make something very cool and unique and interesting. Even if it ends up being something very different than what any of us expect from such a clan. But, like, for instance, I imagine one way that you could take it would be having sort of shape-shifting units, having them, like, copy other units or copy some, having different features depending on, like, what enemies they're matching up against. Again, don't know how you balance that exactly, but, you know, that is one way you could take it. Final Luna Coven Crown next. I mean, if you want to see that, maybe. I was trying to space it out, but we are at a point where we can do that, I think. Sure. If that's what you want to see, that's what we'll do. So, although we did just play Railforged. That's fine. We'll do that, I guess. So, Eka, with Railforged. We definitely want Smith, I guess. Is that true? Yeah. Neither's amazing for us, but we'll take Smith. Yeah, Salvage Machine, my best bud. I just really like Salvage Machine. I think it's both kind of cute visually, and it's just a good unit. It also falls into just mechanically the sort of unit that I really like, in that it doesn't do that much on its own, but it has threads to help it connect to other aspects of the clan, and I really like that. Because it opens up for a lot of interesting, fun synergies and becomes part of, like, a meaningful combo piece, even though, on its own, it doesn't do all that much. Anyways, overall, not a bad start. Do I want to take Shattered Halo? I'll tell you right now, Artificial Firestone is the correct choice here. Especially because it makes it much easier for me to get, like, deployable on the Steel Polyclaw if I want, which I probably do. But let's do a quick cursory glance. Cycle Staff is interesting. Stardust Invocation is kind of interesting. Silver Ink is good, but a little unwieldy. Tidal Turning obviously is good. Heavenfall is potentially good. Over here, we'd be pretty happy with, like, Herzl's Hammer and Sentry Turret. And that's mostly it. Pyre Shot also could be cool, although is not affected by Conduit. Pretty confident we're not going to take it, though it is kind of cute. I kind of want to take it just so we can get, like, an early Sentry Turret. But we'll take Artificial Firestone. Alright. Well, I don't love Silver Empress. We're going to play Lunar Steward, even though we have no moon cycling. Which, if you listen to the general consensus, people tell you, means that it is absolutely unplayable, unpickable at that point. Okay, so we play you there, and then we play like that. Unfortunately, my stupid Witch Weaves do fuck all for me right now. I mean, they can, like, heal, kind of, but not really. And I have no way to smelt the scrap metal. I was hoping that we were going to draw the Steel Polyclaw on turn 1. I did already forget that we have Echo the Time Father, so I can, like, hold on to things. Mooncycle unpickable. Either Sal is lying about Community or Community is crazy. I mean, literally go on the Discord or on Steam. Probably Reddit too, though I don't go on Reddit with any frequency. And ask how people feel about Mooncycle. And they'll tell you that it's unpickable trash. They're wrong, but that is what they'll tell you. You know what? Let's freeze those. Okay, so you now belong to us. Weirdly, we're gonna do this and just immediately grab you. And then we'll heal you up, I guess. Maybe it's a good thing that I'm neither on Steam discussions, nor Discord, nor Reddit. I'm just playing the game. That is fair. Okay, we'll do this so that we can avoid taking pyre damage. We should be fine. I kind of wanted to feed more forge points to him, but I have not been playing out these smiths, so... Anyways, I, for the most part, like being active on the Discord. Although I have not been as active recently for reasons. Probably I've just been busy and whatever. But yeah, for the most part, I enjoy being active there. But it is a little maddening sometimes. Again, just the way that... Yeah, I don't know. Just, there's a variety of things. Anyways, here we are. Ta-da! And there we go. Okay. Another Starstruck is nice, kind of. It's a lot better if we see, like, Lunar Priestess. Phase Blessing is good, although I don't have any conduit. I'm still gonna take it. I don't know that I really want the bonk. Kind of want the bonk. It is useful. Hammerfall is also nice-ish. It is a way for me to get damage scaling, which I currently kind of lack. But we'll take the bonk anyways. Yeah, it's definitely worth me going here for a number of reasons. Yeah, because, like, getting Lunar Priestess is fabulous for us. I do kind of want Intrinsic on the Phase Blessing, but Intrinsic on the Starstruck is also quite good. So I think that's what we're going to do. And we are going to double stack that while I'm at it, and then we'll Magic Power this. Because this way we can daze bosses right off the bat. And that buys us a little bit of time to get set up, and that's pretty useful. So, we are now in reasonably good shape. Yeah, we'll do it like this, I guess. Okay, let's just freeze those for the future. Again, a little sad that I don't have a way to utilize the salvage machine, but oh well, here we are. And thus we start gaining stats. Multi-strike on that machine, we start harvesting our foes. Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm happier to get multi-strike on, like, Lunar Priestess, because I am going to duke the Lunar Priestess, for sure. But, yes, I do like multi-strike on Salvage Machine. But with Moon Cycle Ekka, like, it's just especially good to have more Lunar Priestesses. It is, like, the ideal unit for her. There's surprisingly few smelt cards, if not getting Heft starter card. It's not... So, yeah, there's not a ton of them, but it's not, like, that much more... Oh, I need to do this correctly. It's not, like, poorly represented. It has about the same representation as a lot of other things in other clans. And also, it sort of makes sense because there's not too much you can do with Smelt. Like, I think the Smelt cards that exist kind of cover the options for the most part. And you don't want Smelt to be, like, too freely accessible. Especially since it's already on one of the starter cards. Anyways, my point is, I think it works as is. I guess the other thing I'm trying to say is that Smelt is also not really like an archetype all on its own. It is meant to always be part of doing other things. So it is sort of fine to me that there's not that many Smelt cards because it's not like... Why am I blanking on any example? I guess it's not like, you know, Pyrogel, where that is like a whole thing to build your deck around. Like, yes, you can make smelting a major part of your deck, but it's not the same. Anyways, we're going to dump a whole bunch of forge points in. And then I was going to do things differently, but we can actually just kill you right here, so let's just kill you right here. I was going to hoist him up here, and then we were going to Starstruck this chump for several turns of days, but we can also just win right here. So we're just going to win right here. With our mighty steward. Gravity's sorta nice. Celestial Storm is good, but not really necessary. Moon Pixie is an okay card that I think people, like, really heavily overestimate. It's a good card, but similar to Cluster Kernel, as we talked about yesterday, this is another one of those cards where I so routinely hear people talk about it being a necessary card for Luna. And I disagree. Like, it's good, but there's so many times where I'd rather skip it. I.e. right now. Ooh, Weldling is interesting. Yeah, I guess I'll take a Weldling. Okay, we are for sure going here. Unfortunately, I don't have enough gold for anything else. Ooh. So, we've got two good options here. Option number one is we do the Lunar Priestess. Option number two is we do the Starstruck. Pretty confident we're going to do the Lunar Priestess, even though it's a little bit overkill kind of at the moment. But it's very good for us in general. I do need to fix my deck, though. Okay, so we daze you for a couple turns. We do take some damage from you, but it's ultimately not too bad, kind of. And then we just play out some chumps and things happen. The moment that we pass this turn, everything gets better. Because, like, yes, this does actually stop me from drawing some cards, but also, who cares? I mean, I care a little bit in that it prevents me from getting the from drawing into whatever I'm trying to say. Yeah, anyways, I need to draw into the Steel Polyclaw. Well, need is a bit of a strong wording, but it would be helpful for me to do so. Unfortunately, I can't play you out. Probably should have played the Weldling here, but I did not. Well, we've gotten rid of basically all of his mass. What's giving extra deployment ember right now? Artificial Pyrostone. One of the best artifacts. Man, unfortunately, you're still dying regardless. Well, we could do this slightly differently. Again, I don't think I really need to do this, but we are going to do it anyways. So, Steel Polyclaw, grab you. We're going to do this here so that we can kill that. And then you go there, so we get one of them to survive, which is something. It's not like we really need to be min-maxing at the moment, since we are real bullying him as is. Again, do keep in mind, we started with 0 phasing. And yet, here we are. I mean, obviously it's a little exceptional since we got the 5x dupe event. But even so, like, the moment I had the Lunar Priestess, I was basically just going to dupe the Lunar Priestess multiple times regardless. Like, this is not a surprising outcome, is ultimately what I'm trying to say. Without a 5x, there'd be probably at least 2 priestesses anyways. Yeah, like, not at this moment, per se, but yeah. Like, that is my entire game plan, is dupe the priestesses, because the priestesses are really good for me. I mean, there's plenty of other things I'm willing to do too, but, like, this is all that's required to make Moon Cycle Echo very strong. And even without that, there are plenty of ways that I could have gotten very good value out of this game plan. Okay. It wasn't clear. The reason we picked with the Weldling is that as we increase their attack, it increases their defensive output as well, which is cute. Well, technically wrong ordering, but like, who really cares? Hey look, he's dazed for a couple turns, and then we just bully him with big, chunky stats. Okay, well, the sentry turret's cute. It's really just that it takes a fair bit of capacity for me to use. Meanwhile, the Stardust Invocation is more phasing. Now I see that the community is right. Moon Cycle Echo is very weak. Yeah. I mean, again, do keep in mind, obviously I got the 5x dupe, but even without the 5x dupe, I would have been just fine on this battle. I would have had less cycling, but I would have still been in good shape. And then as the run advanced, I would have done basically the same thing. I do kind of want the sentry turret. It is very cute. You know what? Fine. It's going to be awkward for us to use, but we'll still take it. We're taking capacity. I'm going to kind of want to go here looking for, like, deployment manifest, just so I can play out the sentry turret without issues, but we're going to go here, I guess. And now we get double the stats from the moon cycling. Nope. Also, again, even if I hadn't gotten the 5x dupe, there was another Lunar Priestess right there that I could have also taken. And to be clear, I don't even really care that it would be an unupgraded Lunar Priestess. Does not really matter to me. Yeah, we'll do this and that. And frankly, I should just be removing things. That's what I should be doing. Yeah, the Prayer Stone is a bit of an issue. Yeah, might actually be an issue. I think we're still okay, though. Kind of. Oh, that's right. I don't want to be on top floor. I actually probably should be on bottom floor. I'm not going to be using the sentry turret if I do this, but we'll just go ahead and do this. Okay, well, the spikes are an issue because my dudes have 8 HP to start with. But because we get the moon cycle at the beginning of the turn, it just brings them out of death range. And then we should be fine every turn hereafter, basically. So, we're going to kill you so we don't have to deal with the Scourge. I guess we play that there, even though it's not very impressive. Oh, let's actually do this slightly differently. Monster Train 2, where almost every deck should sit on bottom floor. Yeah, big change from Monster Train 1. And on the whole, I do think it's good that that is a change. But yeah, I do think the pendulum may be swung too far in the other direction. Oh, whoops, we're doing this the wrong way. I think part of learning this game is knowing when not to play bottom. Yes, I would agree with that. Okay. Oh no, my dude is dying. Poor guy. Oh, should have done this differently. I'm not going to reset the turn, but we will do this. Yeah, let's just freeze those, I guess. Do kind of wish that we were giving the armor to not Ekka, but that's fine. Yeah, I don't really want to get sapped, so let's just do these on this floor. And you survive that just fine now, and then here we go. And now we have even more moon rituals. I am missing out on the conduit like this, but who cares? Yeah, I don't even need to do this. Alright, we just dodge Kel's corruption. I mean, we're already winning as is, but just to really assert our dominance, here we are. Absolutely smashing him to death. Ta-da! I mean, I do like Heavenfall, and the planetarium is sort of nice. It would mean that we wouldn't be using the steel pulley claw. Which is maybe fine. It's mostly only relevant for the Phase of Blessing. Technically relevant for the Witch Weaves as well, since I am healing... Well, I'm generating max HP, so I could be healing with the Witch Weaves too. I really shouldn't, but I will take it, I guess. I don't know, it's fine. Magnetic Relay is good, but we're not going to worry about it here. Railgun, likewise, is interesting, but I don't have the Ember generation for it. I should probably do the Merchant of Magic. I want to do this, and I think I am going to do this. Okay. Now what I should do is thin out my deck. My toast is capped. No! I mean, it's sort of okay for me, actually, honestly. I didn't really want my deck to become 80% sentry turrets, but, like, honestly, it's not actually bad. Okay. Oh no, it's Quoto! Okay, this does cut into my draws like this, but that's fine. Okay, we'll just start killing one of you. Okay, here is our best bud. Yeah, we'll just play this. I was gonna do the planetarium this turn, but I guess maybe not. And yes, I do recognize that if I was going to play out the Smith, I should have done it before doing the sentry turret, so I could have forged it. Yep, look at him go, wiping full waves before they matter. Well, we're grabbing you because that's what we're doing. I will say, and I didn't know this when I picked up the planetarium, but the steel pulley claw with the sentry turret is pretty cute, and it's maybe not worth us swapping off of, since I can use it to force more attacks in a turn. Oh yeah, it doesn't really matter, but here we are. Okay, and then look. Yeah, turns out sentry turret is perhaps too strong. A point I may have, in fact, raised before. But that's okay. Like, yes, you do need to deal with bottom decking it on occasion, but again, that's the case with literally any card. Let us have our fun. I mean, again, I don't know. I think it's okay-ish as is, but it is too strong. I still think it makes much more sense as a rare banner unit than Juggernaut does. And like, yes, Juggernaut is strong right now, but that has more to do with... Also, I should have done this differently, but hey, whatever. I kind of forgot that I still needed to get one of these dudes on the floor. Oh no, it's the strongest boss in Monster Train 2. Yeah, don't know how it will possibly beat Quoto. Having hands full and drawing for her. Yeah. Yeah. I've done it to myself, but, you know, it's alright. Oh, I was supposed to do the planetarium first. It doesn't really matter. I'm still not convinced I actually want the planetarium, but hey. Who needs cards when you get moon cycles? That is more or less the name of the game for us right now. I mean, Moonrise is cute. We'll take the Lunacy, though. So currently we have 7 Deployment Ember. I guess I'm going here. I don't have any equipment. I could get some equipment. Like, it's not a bad option for me. It's probably worth doing, honestly. Sure, I guess. Yeah, doesn't really matter. Technically, we can make use of the Lunar Lantern. The amount that I care, though, is so very minimal. Okay. I'm sorry, salvage machine. Alright, have a nice night, Fury. Alright. Well, we'll just go ahead and daze you for a couple turns, and we'll do it even more. Sure. Oh, I did forget that that was gonna happen. Well, we can fix this-ish. Actually, I'm sorry. We're doing that slightly differently. Because what we're doing is we're killing you with the bonk, and then we're using this to pull down one of our friends. And we'll just have to deal with it. Okay. And then things happen. Yeah, we can just kill you with a Witch Weave, which means then I can do other things. Namely, I can pull you down instead. If I were willing to take the eventual shard damage, like, we could be doing even more powerful things, but I've been just trying to avoid taking the pyre damage. Alright, didn't quite kill the backliners, but for the most part, killed the backliners. There we go. Eka is taking a hefty beating like this, but should still be okay. Plus, we can also kill that guy and make it a little better. Let's play the Planetarium there, because honestly, I probably don't need the Planetarium. And certainly in this battle, I don't really want it. I am not going to create even more sentry turrets, though it is useful to draw it on turn 1. I'm not totally convinced I need the Weldling, but the Weldling is doing some work for me. Alright, well, we're gonna lose one of the Lunar Priestesses. That's fine. Yes, look at those beautiful, beautiful stats. Alright. And he's almost dead. And there was that one turn where Eka was looking in danger, but for the most part, we've been looking pretty good. Oh look, we even get to shoot right there. Yeah, the forge points don't mean anything to me, but we have them. Well, our sentry turret just kind of murders things. That is what he does. That is his job. I was going to play that out there just for the sake of it, but I then would actually copy it. Which, like, maybe it's fine to copy it. I just don't want to make my deck 80% sentry turrets. Yeah, I'll take a Cycle Staff, I guess. And then we're taking Capacity. Yeah, we're going here. Ideally, we get, like, intrinsic holdover. Yeah, that's not what I was hoping for. This is my last Merchant of Magic. So we do that, I guess. Fine. Realistically, should use that on just removing stuff instead, but here we are. Yeah, already forgot that I wanted an equipment for the whetstone, and now we have one. I'm glad it worked out. Okay, let's get rid of you and you. Oh no, enemies are gonna get reanimate. What a terrible fate. I mean, I realistically should just be on bottom floor so I can deal with the Scourge generators, but we are gonna go with mid floor. Okay. Reanimate. More shots for the sentry turret. Alright. Okay, well, here's a sentry turret. A shame we don't have the Cycle Staff on him, but it doesn't really matter when we're guaranteed to get a non-trivial amount of stats on him every turn. And we can just pull you up here and watch him fire. Oh, a Cycle Staff would actually replace the Mitosis Cap? Yes, this was considered, and unfortunately it's just not a thing that's gonna happen. Because I get the Cycle Staff during deployment, and I would like to play it during deployment, so here we are. Is there some deep lore behind always saying what should be done and then not doing it? No, not really. It's just acknowledging that I know that I'm making suboptimal choices, but, you know, it's more fun that way. Oh, I actually didn't mean to do that. It's fine. Who cares? It just means I don't draw new cards for the rest of the game, basically. Putting a Scourge card into his draw will surely make his life difficult. The enemy thought before they realized that Sal was getting 7 cards before actually drawing anything. Yeah. Anyways, we do that so they can't even give me Scourge cards. Poor Weldling. I did kind of want to use you once upon a time, but then we decided we weren't going to. Like, it's not bad for me. My defense isn't actually, like, that incredible at the moment. Not bad. Because, like, I am generating just a hefty chunk of stats every turn, but could be better. Suboptimal choices are bread and butter. Yup. Wait, did you draw a curse despite having 10 cards in hand? No. Yeah, they already did the math. But yes, I had 9 cards. I am doing alright, Moonjin. How are you doing, friends? Realistically, I should maybe be playing one less Lunar Priestess so I can be drawing slightly more through my deck. So I can actually, like, get to the Phase Blessing or the Lunacy more reasonably. Well, let's go ahead and troll Rax. Because why would we let Rax actually play out his mechanic? I'm a little sad that we didn't get holdover for the Lunacy. But alas. Oh no, a Scourge Guard! Alright, well, here we go. We just kind of free fire on Rax, and there he goes. Doesn't matter, even if we had let him do his thing, he would not have been relevant. Aurora Weaver's cute, but we're not going to take it. If it were the other one, yeah, we would do that, but it's not. Full Throttle is nice. We're not going to bother. Yeah, I am not totally prepared for the Titan fight, kind of. Oh, yeah, that's good for us. Fine. I don't actually need the jack strips. Doing fine, was kind of sick for 1-2 days, but today accepted an extremely small and dull pain from the healing of my wisdom tooth removal. I am doing the best than I have in the late days. Well, glad to hear that it has been an improvement, my friend. Duping the Phase Blessing seems good. Duping the Lunacy seems good. Duping the Starstruck seems reasonably good. I'm probably just doing that, honestly. Yeah, fine. Kind of want to do the Cycle Staff, but alas. I could make one of the Steel Polyclaws deployable and then play it during deployment phase, and that might be nice. I'd have to not play out one of the Lunar Priestesses, but that's maybe totally fine, especially since... Yeah, sure. I actually maybe should have done it with a Planetarium, because then it effectively would have functioned like a removal. But here we are instead. Okay, well, you are now dazed for a very long time. We'll see how the Titan fight goes. I should be able to make things work, even if it's a little awkward for me. Would it be nice if I had the Cycle Staff on the Sentry Turret? Yeah, that would be nice. I would appreciate that, but that is not what we have been allowed. Yeah, I don't know that I really need this. Like, I like using this because it means that I can make the turret fire extra times and all that, kind of. Don't know that it's really necessary. But, anyways, here we go. Oh no, we're making enemies stronger. It's like I totally care and everything. Yes, we are going to daze you while we can. We are not playing out the other sentry turrets. Actually, I can play one of them just to let it die. Oh, except I'll get the mitosis cap. That's fine, whatever. Ultimately, still should have just not played it, but this is okay. I don't actually need to be playing these directly on the sentry turret, but it seemed correct. Alright, look at our stats upon stats upon stats as the boss is just dazed for forever. Eka, her army of priestesses, and their pet sentry turret. Yeah, more or less. Oops, I for some reason thought that was another moon ritual. It was definitely not. I mean, it didn't matter, it didn't hurt us. Ooh. Alright, and thus we shoot to kill. And the boss is still dazed. Like, yeah, he almost became undazed once upon a time, and then we refreshed it. And then sure enough, here he is, undazed again for the first time, all fight, basically. And, poor guy is about to learn. It's not over yet. Poor Weldling. I was planning to use you, and then we just didn't use you. Well, sadly can't ascend the boss, but that's okay. Suppose I should have ascended to heavy, but doesn't really matter. Oh, and thus he gets dazed for 2 more turns. And then we just kind of... Oh, you know what? Let's daze him for even more turns. And then he dies. Now, again, I will say I'm less well prepared for the Titan fight just because of, like, turn 1. Since I can't daze Entropy, I am not set up well to deal with that, but we can sort of deal with it anyways. Okay. But Sal, I've been assured that Lunar Steward is a weak and bad mechanic. Clearly the secondary clan is carrying this. Yeah, imagine. Okay, so you're going mid-floor, even though we're going to have to deal with Scourges a little bit. Okay, so we're doing this. Do I want to play you? I think I do. It doesn't really matter, because you're just gonna die no matter what floor I put you on later. So I'll just put you now and get you out of my deck. Okay, so we could also Daze Dominion if that were a meaningful thing to do, but it is not. So we're playing that there. We'll play this here to get rid of it, and then we freeze these so that next turn we can play the Sentry turret. It's just I need you to take hits for me for one turn, so that I can wait till we get the rituals. Unsurprisingly, I drew another one, since like half my deck is Sentry turrets at this point. But still. Yeah, whatever. We'll do the Pyrelite. She is going to heal anyway, since we have Circle of Cycles, so the fact that she's almost dying isn't actually that big a deal. Since I do 6 moon cycles a turn, 1 for the beginning of the turn, and then, you know, 1 for each of the moon rituals. Like, she is taking a lot of damage, which is why we have a Lunar Priestess in front instead of Ekka, but still should be okay. Yeah. Well, we'll just let that go. Anyways, she is getting an increasing amount of corruption, but we'll just have to suck it up and deal with it. Again, we do get, like, a non-trivial amount of healing every turn, plus she's getting extra max HP as well. Alright, while we're at it, let's do the other one. Okay, not like our fastest kill. And it would be nice if we had the holdover Lunacy, but we don't. And sadly, the Curses of Entropy do really hurt us. Obviously, I could just not be playing the Curse of Entropy. I came into this fight at full health, I believe, because we're just too cool. But here we are. I did forget that letting that guy go up there is going to actually speed up Dominion a little bit. I didn't even do that intentionally. Don't hate it, but it wasn't intentional. Unfortunately, it lines up with the Lunacy, which I would like to get better value out of, but that's okay. Now we're just waiting on Savagery, who will absolutely die this turn. Unfortunately, we don't get to Daze Dominion on this turn, because that would be cute. But, alas. And thus, we win. Again, it's like, it's a very basic version of that deck. And admittedly, I probably would have had a stronger deck if I had slightly less Lunar Priestesses, so I could actually draw into my spells. Because like, it would have been useful to be able to play out the Starstrucks more often and the Phase Blessing and all that. But worked out just fine. That was still an awesome setup. Yes, I did enjoy it. But yeah, like, I like Lunar Priestess. And again, I strongly feel that people just, like, heavily overestimate what is required to use it. Like, obviously it's better if you start with some moon cycling things, but you don't have to. Like, there are a variety of moon cycling cards in the clan, including Lunar Priestess, who is very easily dupable. And the other moon cycle cards aren't bad either. Like, especially Cover of Night is a pretty good card. Yes, it's a consume card. Yes, you do have to build around that, but that's okay. Because it is giving you defense and offense, and it's giving you phase control all in one. That's pretty good. Anyways, all that said. Okay. Well, it's 2:20 already, so I actually should probably stop there. I would like to keep going, but I got things I gotta do tomorrow, especially if we're doing a long day on Thursday, like we'll probably do. So, we're calling it there. We'll be back tomorrow. I think today was Tuesday, in which case we'll be doing more Monster Train tomorrow. We'll be doing Slay the Spire on Thursday. It'll be a grand and wonderful time. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate it. I know I say that all the time, but that's because it does truly matter to me, and I want to be thankful for it. So, anyways, rambling aside, have a wonderful evening, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.